business. In the verse before us, it is translated labor. We should be ambitious. We should labor is, in such a way that we will be accepted of Him. This is not ambition to become a great somebody. We are accepted in the beloved. Paul makes it clear in Ephesians, having predestinated us into the adoption of children by Jesus Christ to himself according to the good pleasures of his will, to the praise of the glory of his grace, wherein he hath made us acceptable in the beloved. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 5 through 6. Being accepted in Christ is my standard before God. God sees me in Christ, and he has made unto me all that I need. Wisdom and righteousness and sanctification and redemption. See 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 30. He is my perfection. God sees me in Christ, and I am complete in him. He cannot add nothing to completeness. When a person has 100%, that person has all of it. We are believers. We who are believers have Christ, and we are accepted in the beloved. Accepted in Christ is the standing that all believers have before God. To be accepted of Him is a different thing. This has to do with our state and refers to the way we live our lives. Do you live for Christ? Are we ambitious to be accepted of Him? To be ambitious, to be accepted of Christ, certainly does not mean that we are to crawl over everybody and step on them in order to get to the top. I am afraid we have people in Christian work who are like that because they want to make a name for themselves. Dr. G. Campbell Morgan tells how he wrestled with this problem. He was a school teacher when he was called as a minister. It was a very solemn moment for him. He felt that the Lord was saying to him, "You have been set apart definitely for the ministry of the word. How do you want to be a great preacher? Now, do you want to be a great preacher or do you want to be my servant?" The first thought that Dr. Morgan had was, I want to be a great preacher. That ought to be a wonderful ambition. But after a while, the Lord began to press it on him. Do you want to be a great preacher or do you want to be my servant? Finally, Dr. Morgan came to it. He saw that he had to make a choice. Finally, he said, "Oh, blessed Lord, I would rather be thy servant than anything else." He was willing to be an obscure preacher. May I say that, in my opinion, God made J. Campbell Morgan not only his servant, but also made him a great preacher. Sometimes we think that our ambition ought to be to do something great for God. God says that He wants us to be His servants. That's all. You and I need to come to the place where we can say, Lord, just take me and make me and break me and do with me what you will. God gave this word through Jeremiah. And seekest thou great things for thyself, seek them not. Jeremiah 45 and verse 5. That's putting it plain enough, isn't it? My friend, you are trying to get great things for yourself. Oh, there are a lot of ambitious preachers and a lot of ambitious laymen and a lot of ambitious Christian workers and a lot of ambitious Christians, but with self, uh, with self ambition. Do you really want to be God's servant? If you do, then you can accomplish something for which He will be able to reward you. To be honest with you, I'm beginning to become just a little worried about this. I want to make sure that I am His servant. For the next that concludes that section. Now we're going to move on